Hey, it's Jonathan from Deep Questions Dark Chocolate, and I have some questions for you this week. I'll do them on video, and then I'll send them out on Saturday morning on email, so you can kind of soak them in a little more. But I've been following this YouTuber, Jamie Louder. He's a new guy, and he's nailing it on YouTube. He started a lot of businesses. He's Canadian. He's traveled the world, and he went to 6 months in a monastery, and so he's really kind of gone deep with his spiritual ideas, really trying to find truth. And so he had this episode kind of based on a Carl Jung quote. And the quote is, I love it. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So you guys tell me what you think that means on Sunday morning, but I love it. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So I think Carl Jung is saying, deep within us from our childhood or from beliefs accepted in our adulthood is all this wiring about how life is and how existence is set up. And as we get the unconscious and we bring it up to the conscious, then we can make deep change in our life and really rewire ourselves to paradigms of more freedom and dominion. And sometimes that happens through therapy, sometimes with friends, sometimes through our own prayer and meditation. But it's a beautiful thing when it happens. So I'm kind of curious about how you guys have done that. Just letting yourselves come face to face with your own insecurities or disbeliefs and having the courage to confront that, doing that work. It's so cool when people are willing to do that. Another way of putting this is, what must I be believing in order to experience life as I currently am? I love that. What must I be believing in order to be experiencing life as I currently am? Because we are literally creating our own reality. And so if we can identify those unconscious beliefs, bring them up, change them, rewire, man, that's when life gets good. That's when life gets sweet and rich. Another concept I love from Jamie Louder is the idea that we can, if we get clear on certain things, we can just get paid to exist. I love that, because the old paradigm is that resources come with deep effort, with doing things we don't like, with toiling for money in a lack-filled society. But for him, it's kind of choosing your frequency through your beliefs. And the new rich is alignment, where you get paid to exist, and you don't really get what you want in a law of attraction sense through vision boards and deep affirmations and things like that. You get what you are. You get what your core belief about reality is. And so that's what's cool, is do you feel you can go deep and actually change your core belief about reality to where life is easy. You get paid to exist. And we don't have to toil for recesses. We just understand they're already there, as Jesus did. When he had the already cooked fish by the fire that Peter was out there toiling all night for, Jesus already had him. And I think that's a beautiful model for this. So Jamie also says, manifestation is not about convincing the universe of what you want. It's about tuning into the version of you that you want. And that's fascinating. I wonder if anybody has an example of that. Another thing we talk about in our group a lot is the idea of feeling our way into a certain concept or emotion or freedom. And Jamie takes that a little further. He says it should be a full-bodied feeling. And I guess I wonder if you've ever done that, to where you're feeling some sense of freedom or dominion or breaking out of something in your full body, all the way through to the core of your being. And that's really fun. You can do that. Again, I'm curious. I would love to hear your stories about how you do that. And then this week also, I sent out the telepathy tapes talk track that Polly Mahoney sent us. It's the interview with Thomas Campbell, the author. He wrote a book called My Big Toe, TOE, standing for the theory of everything. And he says, basically, we are here on Earth. The whole reason we're here is to make choices. And that a lot of human beings have a lot of fear. Fear is there for all of us in some level. And so his whole thing is, can you make love-based choices as opposed to fear-based choices? And that's the whole essence of life, is can you make progress with that? And he obviously believes we're in a simulation, in a video game, in a dream, whatever you want to call it. But he's 100% convinced of that. And he makes a very good case for it. He articulates it really well. And then lastly, author Lynne McTaggart, we've talked about her a lot, but she wrote The Power of Eight, about intention, loving, healing intention sent out to the world. We're all basically broadcasting our thought that way. And so in this week's email, she says, even your current state of mind carries an intention that has an effect on life around you. The mind continues affecting its surroundings, whether or not we are consciously sending an intention out. So to think is to have effect. So if to think is to have effect, how intentional are you getting about your thoughts, especially about the big world issues these days? A lot in the news these days, a lot going on. And how are you thinking about that? And are you fully aware of how much our thought about that impacts it for good or for bad? And I think she's also saying if we really go deep with this, our thoughts will crystallize into the zeitgeist, into the spirit of the times, and again, really help lift humanity out of these times. So is anything changing in your practice of that? And lastly, one quick concept I love from author Joe Dispenza, where he says we're not here to react to life, we're here to design it. And so I think a lot of us feel like outside circumstances are buffeting us around, and we have to react to those and see if we can somehow adjust and survive. But what if we're here to intentionally design our life and really get so intentional about it, it really starts to unfold in the way we want it to. So have a beautiful Friday night. Again, tomorrow morning I'll send these out on email, and look forward to seeing you Sunday morning, 9 a.m. That's Central Time. Have a beautiful night.